Welcome to English Flow Practice. If you're watching this video, I already know something about you. You can understand English. You're understanding me right now. You probably understand 70, 80, maybe even 90% of what English speakers say. But when it's your turn to speak, your mind freezes. Your mouth doesn't move. The words you know so well in your head just disappear. You've studied grammar for years. You've memorized hundreds of words. You watch English videos every day. But speaking? That's where everything falls apart. And you keep asking yourself, why can I understand everything but can't say anything? Well, today I'm going to tell you exactly why this happens. And I'm going to show you a scientifically proven method that will finally unlock your speaking ability.
Part 1. The real problem. Let me tell you something that will change how you think about learning English. Your brain has two completely different systems for language. One system for understanding, and another system for producing speech. When you watch English videos, read English texts, listen to English podcasts, you're training your comprehension system. Your brain gets really good at recognizing words, understanding grammar, following conversations. But here's the problem. Understanding and speaking use different parts of your brain, different neural pathways, different muscles, different skills. It's like this. You can watch someone play guitar for years. You understand music. You know what sounds good. But can you play? No. Because watching and doing are completely different skills. The same thing happens with English. You've been watching, listening, understanding for years, but you never trained your mouth to actually produce the sounds. You never built the speaking muscles. You never created the neural pathways for speech production. And that's why there's this painful gap. You understand everything, but you can't speak. Your comprehension is at 80%, but your speaking, maybe 20%. That gap is what's killing your confidence. But here's the good news. There's a scientific method that closes this gap, a method that trains both systems at the same time, a method that builds speaking muscles while you listen. It's called shadowing, and it's going to change everything. Part 2. What is shadowing? Shadowing is a technique where you listen to English speech and immediately repeat it out loud, trying to match the speaker's rhythm, pronunciation, and intonation as closely as possible. You're not just listening. You're not just repeating after the speaker finishes. You're speaking at the same time, like a shadow following the original speaker. Now, you might think this sounds simple. But shadowing is actually backed by decades of scientific research. Studies from linguists and neuroscientists have shown that shadowing activates multiple areas of your brain simultaneously: the listening center, the speech production center, the motor cortex that controls your mouth muscles, and the memory systems that help you internalize language patterns. When you shadow, you're not just memorizing words. You're training your brain to process and produce speech in real time. You're building what scientists call procedural memory, the automatic, unconscious ability to speak without thinking. Think about when you learned to drive a car. At first, you had to think about every movement. Check the mirror, press the brake, turn the wheel. But after months of practice, it became automatic. You don't think anymore. You just drive. That's what shadowing does for English. It makes speaking automatic. Here's why shadowing is so powerful. First, it trains your mouth muscles. Every language has different sounds, different mouth positions, different rhythms. When you shadow English speakers, your lips, tongue, and jaw learn to move in English patterns. Second, it builds pronunciation naturally. You're not memorizing pronunciation rules. You're copying real speech. Your mouth learns by doing. Third, it develops listening skills. To shadow accurately, you have to listen very carefully. This sharpens your ability to hear subtle sounds, stress patterns, and intonation. Fourth, it creates fluency. Because you're speaking in real time, your brain learns to produce English at natural speed, not the slow, hesitant speed of translation. And fifth, it builds confidence. When you practice shadowing every day, you start to feel comfortable with English sounds. Speaking stops feeling foreign. It starts feeling natural. Part 3. How to practice shadowing. Now let me show you exactly how to use shadowing to transform your English speaking. The beauty of shadowing is that it's simple. You don't need expensive courses, you don't need a teacher, you don't need perfect conditions. You just need audio in English and 10 to 15 minutes a day. Step 1. Choose the right material. Start with content at your level. If you're a beginner, choose slow, clear speech with simple vocabulary. If you're intermediate, choose natural conversation or stories. The material should be slightly challenging but not overwhelming. You should understand at least 70 to 80% of what you hear. And here's what's important. Choose content with pauses. When you're starting shadowing, you need time between sentences to repeat. That's why I create shadowing practice videos on this channel. Each sentence is spoken clearly with pauses for you to repeat. Step 2. Listen first. Before you shadow, listen to the audio once without speaking. Just focus on understanding. Get familiar with the content. Notice the rhythm and intonation. This prepares your brain. You're not going in cold. Step 3. Shadow with focus. Now play it again. This time, speak along with the audio. Try to match everything: the speed, the pronunciation, the rhythm, the emotion. Don't worry about being perfect. Your goal is to get as close as possible to the original speaker. Even if you miss some words, keep going. Stay in the flow. Focus on feeling how your mouth moves. Notice where your tongue goes for different sounds. Pay attention to which words connect together. Step 4. Repeat the same content. Here's where most people make a mistake. They shadow something once and move on. But that's not how you build speaking muscles. You need repetition. Shadow the same content 3 to 5 times. Each time, you'll get closer to the original. Each time, your mouth will feel more comfortable. Think of it like a song. The first time you hear it, you might catch some words. But after listening 5 times, you can sing along perfectly. That's what we're doing with English. Step 5. Practice daily. Consistency is everything. 10 minutes of shadowing every single day is better than 2 hours once a week. Because your mouth muscles need daily training. Your brain needs daily input. Your neural pathways need daily reinforcement. Make shadowing a habit, like brushing your teeth. Every day, no exceptions. Part 4. What will happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen when you start practicing shadowing consistently. In the first week, it's going to feel awkward. Your mouth will struggle. You'll miss words. You'll feel slow. That's completely normal. You're waking up muscles that have been asleep, but keep going. In the second week, you'll start to notice something. Certain phrases start to feel natural. Your mouth starts to remember the movements. You're not thinking as much. You're just flowing. By the third week, you'll feel a shift. When you listen to English, you'll notice sounds you never heard before. You'll hear how native speakers connect words. You'll start to catch the rhythm and music of English. And by the fourth week, you'll be a different speaker. When someone asks you a question in English, words will come out. Not perfect words, not native level words, but words will flow because your mouth now knows how to move. Here's what shadowing gives you that other methods don't. It trains comprehension and production at the same time. You're not just learning to understand English, you're learning to produce it in real time, at natural speed. And the more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. 6 months from now, speaking English will feel as natural as speaking your native language. You won't translate in your head. You won't search for words. You'll just speak. But, and this is important, shadowing only works if you actually do it. Not just understand it, not just think about it, but practice it. Out loud, every day. Part 5, your decision. So here we are. You now understand why you can comprehend English but can't speak it. You know the science behind shadowing. You know exactly how to practice. Now you have a choice. You can close this video and go back to what you were doing. Keep watching English content passively. Keep understanding but not speaking. Keep waiting for fluency to magically appear. Or you can start today, right now. Find one of my shadowing practice videos, press play, and speak out loud. Will it feel uncomfortable? Yes. Will you make mistakes? Absolutely. Will you sound perfect? No.
But will you be training your mouth to speak English?
Yes.
Will you be building the neural pathways for speech production?
Yes.
Will you be closing the gap between understanding and speaking?
Yes.
And that's all that matters. Every fluent English speaker you see started exactly where you are. Silent, scared, stuck in their head. But they made a decision. They chose to practice. They chose to speak. They chose progress over perfection. And you can make that same choice today.
I upload shadowing practice videos on this channel every week. Each video has clear sentences with pauses for you to repeat. Everything you need to start building your speaking ability is already here. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new practice session. And I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me. Besides speaking, what else do you find most difficult in learning English? Is it listening, fast speech, understanding accents, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation? Your answer helps me create content that solves your exact challenges. I read every comment. Remember, you don't have a speaking problem. You have a practice problem. And practice is something you can start today. The gap between understanding and speaking, shadowing closes it. One sentence at a time, one day at a time. I'll see you in the next shadowing practice. Until then, keep speaking, keep practicing, keep believing. Because you can do this. You absolutely can.